Okay, I think we are live. Let me go ahead and get a mic check real quick. Good to see everybody. I'm sorry for being a little bit late today. Kind of threw it together a little bit last minute. I was quite busy today, but you know what? It's Jackstand Church, baby. We got to get it in. You know what I mean? We got we got inclement weather outside, and the lights keep flickering and shit. So I do apologize in advance if we get a little bit cut off a little bit early, but probably won't happen. We'll probably be okay. Seems like it's calmed down quite a bit. So okay, so I think we got good audio rolling today. What's up, everybody? Got a lot to talk about today. You know, we talk in a live stream, and we talked about it before. It's really, it's about the journey. It's not about the destination. We got some things to talk about that you see here in the bullet form. Quite a few things, to be honest with you. Let me pull my picture up. Sometimes I forget where I put it. We got a timeline on the 393 stroker. We're going to talk about jackstand prison, the fear of breaking the trap, social media versus reality, budget versus dreams, scope creep, drive it ugly. Yeah, we got quite a few things that we're going to be hitting. I'm pretty prepared this week, and we're going to talk a little bit of shit and have a little bit of fun on a Sunday. So I did throw a couple of invites out, so we may have a guest or two here tonight talking about some of the stuff that we're talking about. We do have a McLeod banner to give away. We probably, I would imagine, at some point have a merch giveaway like we normally do. So I do got the goal going up, 5 super chats at 10, so we can give away a hat or a shirt to somebody randomly in the chat. Not expected, but always appreciated. I love y'all. I'm just glad to have you guys on a Sunday. I tell you what, man, as much as, it's kind of a pain in the ass to set this all up, I'm going to be honest with you. It's the best time of the week. I keep telling you that, and I can't thank you guys enough for spending your time with me on a Sunday, randomly talking about car shit. It's you guys motivate me to be here, and I feel like I owe it to you guys to be here every week, and I owe it to myself so we can get some Jackstand Church in. And I love this shit. I love talking about stuff like this, and it really kind of sets the tone for the week. It kind of gets you in that mode of getting your shit off the jack stands. Not just about cars, it's about life, and it's about getting your life in order and keeping down the right path. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see everybody. Yeah, I got that certificate out, so everybody should be good. I got to get Dan's camshaft out, so that'll be tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Mustang guy won the trivia for the Trick Flow choice of Trick Flow camshaft. Now we're doing a lot of that stuff with members from here on out. We're going to be doing an Anderson N41 camshaft for the top tier members, as that came from the top tier member. So big shout to Sting, SN95 Garage for giving back. He paid it forward. So somebody in that tier is going to win an Anderson N41 camshaft. And we also are going to do the torque box reinforcements to the tier 1, the lowest tier, because that also came from the lowest tier. So big thanks to Super Dave for kicking us off with a $50 super chat. Get that 393 back in the car. So we're going to be talking about that first, the timeline, and what me and Dave talked about. And G. Gale, appreciate the $10 super chat. I love y'all. I appreciate everything you guys do for us here on the channel. So I am motivated by deadlines. I am buying a Hot Rod Power Tour ticket. Yes, so that's definitely something that I haven't even sat down and figured out in 2026. Before we start getting into I got a lot of things to talk about. I'm going to try to talk about as much as I can today without getting too deep into the night. We're going to be here a good hour, so get your popcorn, get settled in, get yourself a little water. Got some shit to talk about as usual on a Sunday. But anyways, as far as like a schedule, I'm going to tell you guys 100% going to be at Motor City Fox Fest, repping the brand up there in Detroit. So if you're going to be there, I may make Carlisle. I'm not promising that. We will be at Ford Takeover, pending football schedule. This is my son's senior year, so I don't know if he's playing football or not yet. I'm proud of him, even if he doesn't. He's broke a couple world records or national records on powerlifting, and I, can't wait to see where he goes with that stuff. And as far as Foxtoberfest, I really want to go to Foxtoberfest another year. So put that on your calendar. We're going to be selling some merch there and probably running a I wouldn't call it slow car index. I'm going to call it pure street, realistic, relatable car racing at the track. We're going to have some fun with it. I'm probably going to bring Dad's car and or my black car and run 7.0s, 7.7, 750s, 8.0s. So that's what we got going on. I didn't make a schedule for the stick shift stuff for my stick shift people. We do have Tremec on board. I haven't really I reached out to a number of sponsors, but it may just be a transmission this year, fellas. I don't know, man. We'll just we'll dig in and we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? So big shout to, Timmy Two Wires. Appreciate the hashtag McLeod, $10 super chat, and HLR Saloon, the $20 super chat. Man, I appreciate you guys very much. Yeah, I'm not bringing the coupe. We hope to get the coupe done by then. We will try to make it to Motor City Fox Fest with the coupe, but maybe that will happen. Maybe it won't. So I don't know. I'm not really super worried about 393 stroker timeline. Let's get right into the timeline. Probably going to see that engine. Dave promised it to me no later than April 1. Dave's a guy that's very busy. He goes to Texas and he tunes Maseratis, BMWs, lots of LS Coyote stuff. Texas, guys. Texas is like a whole nother planet when it comes to cars and good weather. He loves to go there. He gets paid for his time. Big shout to the Mustangs down in Texas. I really kind of hope to see like a Foxtoberfest style event outside of, Mustang Week, go to that area. I know we got pits and we got Ford Takeover in Tennessee, which is kind of like the Midwest-ish. I'd love to see something in Texas. I'd love to see the guys out in the West enjoy some more stuff like we do here. They don't have to travel so far east. But anyways, yeah, we got a lot. Oh, the 393 stroker, we'll probably see it. I'm hoping to see it a couple weeks into March, if not first week or second or whatever of March. We're ordering parts this week. We're going to give a deposit. We're just going to pay for the bill. It's going to cost us about $2,200. And, I got to take that out of, the YouTube money. I don't have, I don't have $2,200 laying around. And I don't, I've saved a long time for stuff like this to make sure that I can afford it. And that's where it is. That's where it is. I mean, we're going to have to fix the 393 and get it back in the car so we can do some good burnouts and stuff. Yeah, Texas has Mustang Weeks. Is supposed to be pretty good, but I really would like to see like a Foxy Events / Foxtoberfest style, like really dialed in event in Texas. Because I think I know a lot of folks from Texas do travel, but I think it's such a great state. I know Texas 2K does really well with racing, but I'd love to see something like that. Pitts is a good one. I'd like to go to Pitts. Not really sure if I'm going to be able to make it to Pitts this year. Like I said, those are pretty much the 3 events plus whatever I do stick shift. Not really super worried about it. Going to travel a lot. It's expensive to travel. It is what it is. Got an engine to pay for. Got a whole car to build. So not in any hurry, right? So anyways, we're also talking about jackstand prison. Now, let me talk about that real quick with you. So what I mean by jackstand prison, it's like why so many builds never leave the garage. It's like the fear of breaking parts versus driving it. Now, some of this might hit you guys. Some of you guys may be realism to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it might hit home. You know what I mean? I have been like that. I have owned a convertible. I had number 165, 1989 Cobra Celine convertible. Had 7,000 miles on it, but it was mint. One owner, and the only flaw in the car was he had a screwdriver in his pocket, so the driver's seat had a little poke in it. But all the paperwork, original dealer stuff, and I had the fear of driving that car like anywhere. And I ended up selling that car to a good friend of mine, Jason. And, we sold it for good money back then. And good money back then is like what a normal low mileage coupe's going for now. And it's crazy how much in 10 years, how much the Fox body stuff has just lit fire. You know what I mean? It's just, it's gone crazy as far as prices are concerned. But is it really crazy? Or we're getting, as the years go by, people are starting to realize, hey, we're in the generation Gen X, you know what I mean? Beginning part of millennial / baby boomers, where we couldn't afford none of these Mustangs, right? When we were in the 80s and 90s. And it's like the first 20 years you learn, the next 20 years you earn. That's kind of where we're all at now ish, right? And then the last 20 years you return, right? And I got that from a Denzel Washington quote. It was on some sort of motivational thing, but it made sense. It's like, you spend the first 20 years learning how to make money, and then you spend 20 years past that earning that money. And that's kind of where we're at. Fox body Mustangs are starting to kind of, they're not drying up, but like, you're not going to find a reef blue coupe with black interior that's got like 1,000 miles on it. And if you do, you got to fork out the money to make it. You got to go get it, because that's one of your cars that you've seen. But those are the type of cars that I'm talking about. I personally, just sharing my experience, I had to get rid of the convertible because I couldn't afford to leave it in, storage all the time. And I never drove it. I didn't own it very long at all, but that's why my white car back here is one of 10,000. That's why my black car is one of 10,000. Neither one of them are ever going to win a car show award. They'll be cool. They'll be cool to look at. Same with my dad's. Be cool to look at. But that's just where, that's kind of where I set my feet in the sand. And I'm okay with that, man. And you should be too. You know what I mean? And it should be fine with you too. But fear of braking versus driving it is definitely something that's in the back of your head when you get your car off the jack stands, especially depending on how much money you had to spend to get it there or had to pay a shop to do it. It's a realistic, it's realistic as hell. You know what I mean? So I think it's a trust issue, maybe. Yeah, Chocolate Fox, unfortunately, is no longer. I'm okay with a shitbox Fox. You're damn right, man. And that's okay. It's okay. I'd be up for an 79 to 04 event as a, you know what? The Motor City Fox Fest is a 79 to 04 event because it's held at the Ford headquarters, Dave. For anybody who, you got your Terminator, the Mustangs that come in, you got all the nice mocks. You got a lot of really good stuff going on with those events. And I definitely interested in seeing some of you guys there and having some fun. So we did get a guest in tonight. I got my man Brutal in the house. What's up, big dog?
What's going on, dog?
So we're talking tonight about why cars never leave the garage. Jack stand prison. We just talked about fear of driving it versus fear of breaking it.
That's right. Yeah, I think I'm in the camp of both.
Yes.
I think I'm scared to drive it and I'm scared to break it. That's, I guess, kind of what we're doing with the Retro Fox is we're trying to get it to where I'm comfortable driving it. So that's the best. Beating on it can come later.
Do you have that fear with your new car?
Yeah, actually, not a fear of driving it. Zero fear of that. But yeah, sometimes when I beat on it, because the car's not on E85, it's tuned kind of on the ragged edge on pump gas with octane booster. So yeah, it's a fear I think that lives inside of a lot of us.
I think so too. And it's definitely like into the next thing, like professionalism or not professionalism, perfectionism, going into the next topic that I'm talking about, because I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of really good stuff to talk about tonight. Perfectionism can be killing your progress.
100%. I feel like, there's a level, obviously, of it that you have to achieve, right? There's certain parts that you don't want to put on your car, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that we can do to our cars just to get them running, to enjoy them, and then come back later and upgrade. But the problem is, I think a lot of people run into is they never go back, right? It's like, well, it's running, it's driving, but it's just like with the Retro. I'll use that again as a good example. That car needs a lot of work for me to be truly happy with it.
Yes. So. Yeah, I get that, because I just put a short out from the past. I don't remember if it was the last live stream or whatever, but we see this social media perfectionism, and that's kind of going to lead me into my next topic. It's like social media can kill your build momentum.
The elitists out there or they they'll kill a build in a heartbeat. And it's sad because a lot of people just want to show their car off, right? They get on Facebook, they want to show it off, or either they want to ask a question. And either way, you get blasted. It's like, I hate to say it, but a lot of the guys that are saying these bad things, I mean, just take a look at their profile, guys. When they're blasting your car, your shit, take a look at their profile. You won't feel so bad after all.
Yeah, and don't be so mad. And one of the biggest enemies that you guys could have is yourself.
That's right.
Just staring yourself in the mirror. Perfectionism will kill your build momentum, and that's where we get that whole while I'm here, and then going into the next thing. That's the trap.
It is
a realistic trap.
It is, and that obviously there are certain things you should do if you have the money and the time while you're somewhere. I think the biggest hurdle for most people is like, what is it? Where do I stop? You go loading down a credit card to buy all these damn parts, and you're still not happy. You know what I mean? So there's a balance with this, and I don't think any of us have it completely figured out, but there definitely are some people, and myself included, that will absolutely do it wrong, and it'll wreck a build. Yes. And guys, I don't have the answer to tell you exactly how to do it, what needs to be replaced. It's one of those things where I guess it takes experience. You've done this for years and years, and look, I can live with this, I can't live with that. You need to know yourself before you start asking these questions and you start answering them, and especially when it comes to money.
Especially when it comes to money. Just like I talk about the trap, one more upgrade. It's an easy. We call it the rabbit hole. You get into that rabbit hole, and I'm in it right now, trying to force myself not, because we're about to take the white car apart after I try to get this 270 million mile whatever that was I put on the channel the other night.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna try to get it started for fun, just
113,000 mile or 130,000 miles.
Yeah, it's
230.
It's probably more. If I had to guess, it's not going off topic, but it was probably 113. It sat for 25 years, so probably in 10 years, it probably got a good 100,000 miles driven.
Yeah, it's probably 13,000. I noticed that I saw where you had zoomed in. It looked like on like the clutch pedal or brake pedal pad, and I guess you were using that as a well, this looks good. Guys, we got to remember these cars, like, people can replace stuff like that, and if you're looking at certain wear points and they look good, but then there's the seats that are completely worn out. I mean, you got to kind of put two and two together.
Right.
On those.
Right.
But yeah, not to get completely off topic.
Yeah, I mean, going into another, I just got so many bullet points here I could be talking about. Social media is like, going back to the social media thing, ruling, it's almost like it's not doing us any favors. I talked a little bit earlier, and I think I showed you, you see 15 seconds of 1,000-hour build. And I'll use my buddy, Tom and his, the War Admiral. That car is meticulously the most beautiful car I've ever seen. One of them. And Tom puts a lot of effort into that. Mm-hmm. And, it's, he has set the standard for that coupe. You know what I mean? And it's a wonderful build. And you can do the same thing. And you can build your car to be your standard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It doesn't, Tom has probably one of the best coupes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Him and Mario.
Yes.
They really top-notch cars. But Neo, in saying that, and this is obviously no knock against that car. It's absolutely beautiful. Me and him have talked about it as well. That is just not realistic for people, obviously, to that level. Like, we know that is not something most people can achieve, but I don't think people fully understand what it takes to get to that point, because you'll get it done, and it looks like you think it's done, but to take it to the next level, there are so many things that you have to go through meticulously and pick apart this and that and change things that were already good but need to be best. And it's never ending. It's crazy.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, like, you know, Tom has spent thousands of hours. I couldn't even put a number on how much money and planning he's done with this car.
Yeah.
And you know, it's and you can see it in the passion in it, and it's one of the, you know, the staples of our community. And I love that about, you know, and you have to find somewhere in your build, you know what I mean, in your journey, that's what we call this whole live stream, to where you can make sense in your mind too what you would like your build to look like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. And I love all ends of the build. I love builds that are budget. I love builds that are, I'm not going to call them bougie, I'm going to call them badass, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, the top of the top tier, this is the standard. And you can't, you know, some of the social media stuff, like how fast the cars are, you know what I mean? You can't get caught up in some of that stuff. You can't get caught up in you know, trying to keep up with, you know, you got to find some sort of, you know, you got to find some sort of happiness, middle ground, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, find a group that you connect with, because that group will validate what it is that you want to do. In other
Right.
words, like if you really just kind of want to patina it out, like rat rod, hot rod car, kind
Right.
of like the poop coop,
Right.
you're going to need to associate with people who like that. At least watch
Mhm.
videos of people who like that and get into that world, because it's really hard to do that whenever you're hanging around with guys that have, you know, $100,000 cars, and also some people just look down on that, and you're going to have to just separate yourself from those kinds of people. Like you said, you can have fun with, you know, a poop coupe, or you can have fun with a War Admiral car or a Mario car, right? It doesn't really matter. You just have to decide who you are and be okay with it. I'm telling you, that middle ground is really where it's at for most people. You
Mhm.
can make a car look good on the outside for not a lot of money and not a lot of time in comparison, but be a complete shit box underneath. So, but maybe you can live with that. Is the car reliable? Does it run pretty good? Do you mind not popping the hood because the engine bay is not perfect? If you're that guy, then you can ride around with a car for little money and it be beautiful, be pretty, and look good going down the road. And I think most people are okay with that.
I seen a meme on there on Facebook the other day. There was a couple of people. It just showed a fox minded guy's like, my shit's awesome for real. He's just driving down the street and it's
Yeah,
like loud and it's
that's
multicolored
right.
or whatever. But you know, again, taking nothing from the hard work, the thousands and thousands of dollars. I love the fact that we have some good people that have built some of the most amazing machines in our community, because you can look at that and say that it's just awesome to see it,
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
be part of it, you know what I mean.
Especially when you see these cars in person, because you're looking for mistakes. You're looking for it. That, I'm sorry, that's what people do. Especially when you see a car like
Yes.
War Admirals, you see a car like Caleb's car. You
Yeah.
know, you see these things online, and then whenever you get up there, you're looking. So, can you live with someone always picking apart your shit? Because, buddy, if it's online and it's deemed the baddest, it better not have a nick on it. It
Right.
better not have dirt on the wheels. You know what I mean? Like anything. It's tough, man. I don't think most people want to live that life, because God, I could only imagine how hard that would be to keep a car like that up.
Man, I tell you what, I could only imagine it. And they can tell us stories. I mean, I do talk to them quite often when I can at the shows, and you know, Mario and Tom and you know, even John with Dale.
Yeah, yeah,
I just
John.
love those guys, and it's just, God, their cars. I just look at their cars and say, man, one day, you know, maybe one
Yeah,
one day I can have something, you know, the stance on that, the diffuser on this, the color on that, the interior
yeah,
on this. I'm like, damn, son, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, when you get into like the scope creep and the reality of the situation, you got to find your median. You got to find, somebody was just saying it in chat, you got to find your financial like realism. You know,
yeah,
and it brings me into my next point. You know, drive it ugly.
yeah,
Why
for
do
sure.
looks why looks don't matter yet? Driving primer cars, mismatched panels, memories made in the. This is why I don't really want to paint my black car. My black car's losing its clear coat, and it's a 1990 patina. And I'm telling you what, it ain't going to be the Calypso, bro. You know, your Calypso looks really, really good. You know, it's my white car is same thing. You could see sand scratches, and it's been driven down the ditch about 1,000 times. And I'd say the ditch meaning like the asphalt.
Yeah.
But, you know, to each their own. You know what I mean? It's drive it ugly if you have to. Learn from Brutal. He's said, God, you must be, you probably got a dozen videos on how to paint.
Yeah, yeah. Paint it yourself if you want to give it a go. Drive it ugly. I recommend, here's two things I recommend if you're going to drive it ugly. Slam it and put some wheels on it. Done. Spend your money there. Right? You can make a color.
Funny. That was in my bullet, bro.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, color doesn't matter.
I was going to say brakes and wheels and stands and
because you can paint something doo-doo brown and put the nicest wheels and slam it and it be just sick, right? Or imagine, let's use Caleb's car for an example, right? So Caleb's red LX is beautiful. Everybody knows that. Put this thing back at stock height and put stock 10-hole wheels on it and see how cool it is then. Is it? 100%. Is that cooler, or is the car with the patina paint job slammed? I say slammed, but lowered with a set of wheels cooler. The lowered with a set of wheels car. So that's kind of my take. If you're going to have to make a decision on what to do, go wheels and lowered, and then go from there with it. Yeah. Also, I wanted to touch on something before I forgot about it. Guys, it's actually pretty simple. You are who you are, and you just need to realize that about yourself. Let's take, for instance, somebody like Tom. You're not going to hold this dude back, right? No. He is one of these guys that he just didn't wake up one day and be like, I really think I want to have a really nice car. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Maybe not. No. He is one of those killers. He's going to get out there and get after it and do it. My point is, that's not you. You're not that guy. Don't try to be that guy. You're not. I'm not. Neo's not. There's very few in the world. So my point is, you're going to do what you want to do. Watch yourself. Step back and look at yourself from a distance. What do you do when you get a car? Just now do those things, but do it better. And then do the little nagging things that you should have completed. Go ahead and do those, and you're going to have the car that you want.
Yeah, and 100%. And make sure that regardless, if they're at the top pinnacle of the engine build or just car build process, or at the bottom, you support. Like, this is a good genre, and everybody in this chat and everybody in my channel, I don't have a big channel, and I'm okay with that. That's just the realism of I am a real dude. Real recognizes real 100%. And everybody in my chat, I've seen their name, and I love them. I get 100 people, 150 people, 80 people. It don't matter, man. We talk some shit on a Sunday, but the point of the matter is it's real. You support who you support. You support everybody. I walk by a brand new Shelby to go over and look at my man's patina coupe.
That's right.
Because I want to hear his story. I don't want to hear this dude works at, CEI as I don't know, even though I'm just making up a company, as the CEO. So that's right. There ain't nothing wrong with buying.
No.
But I want to hear his built story.
For sure. You know what I mean? Here's where I'm at with the new cars. Hey man, do whatever you want to do, first off. So let me go ahead and say this, and I'm probably going to catch some flack for this. I'll word it this way. It's easier for me to tolerate the fact that somebody went out and bought a brand new GT500 after they paid their dues. They've been laying on gravel and grass and mud and worked on their cars out in the snow and rain and everything else. And you've done this for years, and you know what? You're sick of it. You're tired of working on shit. You're going to go out and you're going to reward yourself and get yourself one of these cars. At that point, hell yeah. That's what I give you right there. But for the guys that just go out and buy one and then it's fine. It's just not me. You know what I mean?
It's okay if you don't have good, new car money, John Doe. It's okay. Because that's exactly what, I think you might make a pretty good reference, because you got the 21 behind. Is that 21? It's 21 behind you.
Yeah. And,
you have already, cut your teeth with the poop coupe and the Terminator and the Calypso builds. And it's just like, hey, I wanted to try something different. And I think it hit really well.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the old truck, you got Pop's car, you got the old Gen 1, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of good stuff, you know, your channel, if any channel, has just hit all the way around the mark when it comes to, you know, Ford builds, whether it's bought, whether it's built, whether it's, you know, Poop Coop was just really cheap build.
Yeah,
it hit off, man. It was good. It was cool,
the Poop
man.
Coop was so fun. That was a fun build.
Right,
You know,
right.
every one of these cars are different, obviously, you know, but it's extremely hard to explain to people because it's like, well, obviously they're different. But what I mean by that is there's days whenever I wake up and I want a rowdy ass race car feel with fatties and skinnies, bigs and littles, drag pack, whatever you want to call it, big cow hood,
Yes.
vibrating windows whenever I
Right.
ride by, leave it idling in the gas station parking lot, pissing people off. There's days when I crave that.
Right.
And then there's also days when I just want to drive Pop's truck and just ease around like an old man. And that is what I want for the day. Nothing's better than that. And then there's days whenever there's the 21, and you know what I mean? So you don't have to have all of them, but I'm just saying that's just the way it works. And you're always going to crave what you don't have, but you just got to be happy with what you do have. I could lose everything that I own right now. And you know what? If I had Pop's truck, I would be happy. I would make that work. So,
what's up, BBQ? Good to see you, brother. Mark's in the house. Good to see you, Mark Savoy. I want a car that I'm not afraid to drive or scrap it. It's all about the journey. You're correct, Matt.
It is. It's all about the journey. I think for a lot of guys that have been doing this for years and years, they're tired of junk. They're tired of stuff that they can't trust. And it almost, it's like once bitten, twice shy. Well, imagine getting bitten 1,000 times throughout the years. And you're scared of everything. You don't want to get in something and break it.
Right. That's what we just talked about.
Yeah. For the younger crowd, like the Berger crowd, or like me and you were, and everybody else was when they were younger, first getting into it, you don't care about the mistakes and the breaks, right? You come back harder and bigger and better than ever.
Right.
But there comes a time whenever you just get enough of that shit.
Yeah.
So, yes, of course, have a nice car. And I think everybody wants something they can rely on. What is that? These days, I don't know what it is. You could go buy a brand new car off the showroom floor and it take a crap on you, or start knocking 6 months later, have oiling problems, phaser problems. Pick your poison.
Right. 100%. So going back to driving it ugly, you know, unfinished cars and patina cars, you know, they definitely deserve, you know, road time. You know, driving
For sure.
miles per gallon is what this is really all about.
For sure.
And it will motivate you. I will 100% promise you it will motivate you to finish your build.
100%.
That's where I get jack stand. Get your shit off the jack stands. That's where all that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really even talk, you know, it's not just about cars. It's about your life. It could be about going to the gym. It could be about spending time with your family. But in the car, the original origin of it is if I can get you to get your shit off the jack stands, get it out on the road for miles per gallon, you're gonna build it. You're gonna motivate yourself. And what this does is this is like therapy. It's like going to the gym. It's like taking a walk with the dog. It's like hanging out with your friends. And I know it costs money, but it's therapy, man.
It is. The problem is people often try to do too much. They try to, like, to have a car, to get a car to where you want it. I feel like there's steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's fine to take those steps to work on this car, to drive it ugly first, and then afford what you can afford and do it in steps. There's actually a lot of reasons to do it that way. One of the main things, if I'm being completely honest with you, if you do everything immediately and you go out and you buy all the stuff and you get the car perfect, what next? Because trust me, there will be that question. There's always that question. What next? What do I do? And this is where you start getting into the more radical race builds. And I just want a fast car. Well, then it comes down to, well, I need to do this if I'm going to do it. I need to change this transmission out, and I need these gears to go fast. So, yeah. So when you do it over a period of time, for one thing, it slows the build down, and you get to watch each part that you put on and how it affects the car, and just breathe it all in. Right? When you go do all this shit at one time, your goals are met, and then you're gonna look for new goals,
100%.
And that's not always the best thing.
Clifton said, you guys really inspired me to keep working on my build and don't give up. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. just get out there and turn wrenches, man. That's kind of that's always been my say. Just turn wrenches, do shit. And if you don't know how to do something, learn it. There's no excuse these days for not knowing how to do something.
There is a YouTube video for like everything now.
Yeah, if all these work right here and you can do this, I know there's guys out there that are in wheelchairs working on cars. I've got one of my best friends has got all sorts of issues and he works through it. He gets out there and he works on his car, and I'm so proud of him for being able to do it and push through. Do shit that's hard. I mean, I just, I don't like people to say that they can't do something. Just say you don't want to do it. Just say you won't do it. But don't tell me you can't.
Be real with yourself. And that's almost like something we would just have a video. I mean, we're kind of getting into that whole, taking the gloves off, taking the chains off on, with the content that you and I put up. We put up videos like, just hitting you right in the realism feels. You got the patron thing going on. I tell you, I know you're going to kind of like, that's going to be a whole different direction for you. That's going to, for your media content. And, that's going to be like, as far as like, the types you could really kind of let loose on it, you know what I mean? And talk about stuff that we're talking about right now.
Yes. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. And I think that's very hard to explain to people, but I think me and you talked about it.
Absolutely.
I want the freedom to be able to have these conversations and make videos the way that I want to make them and not make them for the damn algorithm. I'm sick of it.
So if you guys don't know what B's doing, he started a patron, much like Caleb as well. So I encourage you guys to go out there and, you guys support me here. I'm not going anywhere on Jackstand Church, but these guys are out there. They're making content, different types of content. They're going to share, with their members and stuff here on YouTube. But it's a really good direction to go, because we're able to just sit down and be real, like we are right now, and not worry about an algorithm and a clickbait title and just be, that's what I like about the live stream so much. I mean, I focus so much on it is because I can sit here and talk about many things that would lose people in a 10-minute video, and the 100%. Algorithm would be like, oh, this is just a bad. No, man, our content is rich. 100%.
It is. We've had these conversations many times. We just want to be as real as we can with y'all, but you understand that those videos don't go anywhere. And look, the reality of it is this: like, we love doing what we're doing, but we want to be able to continue to do builds and have content and things like that. So as a creator, you have to sit down and you have to ask yourself, like, how do I need to sell this thumbnail? How does this title need to go? And you'll mull over it for hours. Your thumbnail and your title will take you longer than editing the video itself. And you don't want to you don't want to clickbait your people, but you also got to get the views, because if the money doesn't come in, you can't buy the parts to keep the channel going.
I was just telling them that. I'm like, listen, I gotta spend half a year's freaking whatever YouTube that I've saved just so I can fix this 393 that I had an unexpected failure.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just the way it is. It's just, we do this mostly because we love to do it. Yeah, we make a few bucks doing it. Yeah, 100%. Same thing. That's, I mean, Dude, we're not bitching about it. It's just no. We love to talk about stuff, and
that's right.
We love to bring things to the channel, and sometimes that requires money to upgrade. I mean, I have no problem talking about monetization. I've always talked about it, and it's just part of the game.
It is, and I think most people understand it. It's fine. This was not a direction I originally wanted to go, but I talked with you and I talked with Caleb and decided, you know what, let's do it. Let's see where it goes. But anyway, look, I didn't come in here to talk about that. No,
that's fine. Let's continue.
So there was there was something I was going to talk about with the Gray Ghost about building it.
Yes, Rich.
I remember what it was. So we're talking about, like, you have to make decisions, right? You don't want to take shortcuts per se, but you have to make decisions when
you have to make decisions on the car right now. The build with that.
The build. So the builds change. Sure. Originally we were like, 363, big cam, limited travel lifters, higher compression, like all.
I remember talking about that.
Yeah, and then I had a conversation with my dad. Well, we talked a couple of times, and he's like, yeah, that sounds good. Berger was the same way. You were the same way. Everybody's like, hell yeah, that sounds good. And it does sound good. Nobody's going to sit here and say that that's a bad idea. But then you just kind of let it soak for a little while and you come back to reality. And I thought to myself, all right, what are we going to do with the car? Are we going to go drag race it all the time? No, it may go to the track one time on this snap. Mainly my dad's going to drive it. So to make a long story short, I said, all right, what can we do to make it a little more rowdy, but save tons of money? Like save huge money. 347, high compression, cam. That's it. That's where I stopped. That's the limited travel lifters out. Those things are expensive. Push rods out. Bigger valve springs, don't need them. All the machine work on the block and everything else, don't need it. This saves tons of money. So I feel like there are compromises that you can live with because that would just not be needed. That's money that we could put elsewhere on the channel. Is the car still going to be drivable? Is it still going to go up and down the road? And is it still going to spin tires and be fast? Yeah. Probably not even enough of a difference for you to notice it on camera. I could probably tell you that this 347 is a 363 with all that, and you'd be like, looks good to me. Yeah,
100%. And you've saved thousands
of dollars doing it this way. So yeah, you just gotta be smart sometimes. Now, if it's your only car, your only build, maybe your first build, got some extra money, sure, man, go for it. But just for me, it's like it's scratching the same itch as everything else here. It's no different. It's the same thing, just a little more power. So anyway, I had to make sacrifices as well and decisions, but guess what? We're putting good parts in it. We'll have H-beam rods and all forged bottom end. So
yeah, I had to
spend money there.
I had to go. I learned a very valuable lesson with the. I've always been a stock pump, non-HV pump type of guy, but one of the most valuable lessons I've learned when building these 351 Windsors is they're oil starved to begin with from the factory, so they're already at a disadvantage. Some of the things I've learned that I want to share, that I always try to share as much as I can, because you're going to learn from my failures that cost me money and experiences and stuff. And run a high volume pump 100% on at least the 351 Windsor. Now 302 doesn't suffer as much. And I stuck with a stock pump for a long time with the stock bottom end builds because we built so many damn ones of them. But it's just one of the things that you're talking about. I had to make sacrifices. Like we can't. Yeah, we gotta put it back together as best we can. Cheap.
For sure.
Not cheap, but just we got to go through it. We're not going to redo the rings. We're not going to do anything special. It's just I want to get the car back in here so I can get the Terminator X in it, so we could go make 500 wheel maybe. Yeah. We may fail that. I don't give a shit. Guess who's going to put that still in my damn channel?
That's right.
I don't give
a shit. Hey, and everybody learns from it too, right? So let's say this combination that you had hopes to make 500 horsepower didn't make 500 horsepower. Now everybody sees it and they're like, good deal. I know not to do that now.
Right.
I mean, it's great, right? There is no bad content, in my opinion, when it comes to something like that. So that's why
being real. You know what I mean?
And we're gonna fail, right? Look, man, that short that I posted on the 65 where I basically blew it up, slung a rod that day, that was my fault. That was the whole reason that happened was my fault. The car was not up to temperature. It has a regular stock style front sump oil pan that's shaped like this right in the front, and it just swoops right over into the back. Like that thing will slosh all of the oil, straight to the back of the car. For one thing, it was cold, and I knew better. And I got so much hate from it. But guys, look, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna tear shit up. It's gonna happen. And you're gonna build the best that you can build, the best that all the money that you got, and it could come apart the next day.
That's what makes your channel unique. And that's what makes you unique in what we do, is the fact that we're not going to sit here. If we mess something up, this is now the third time. I've already got a bunch of shit about it. Oh, this is the third time. Listen, we've built many motors on the channel.
That's right.
And 90% of them, like my dad's motor's been through war. My 363's been through war. The 408, Dave Willis, a good channel member, one of our favorite channel members here on the channel. A guy bought that 408. I beat the crap out of that. I made 1,000 crank horsepower on that.
Yeah.
It had catwalk, and it wasn't bad enough to worry about it. But the point of the matter is he's down there enjoying the shit out of the motor. Lamar Richardson enjoying the shit out of his motor. Yes, we can build motors, but yes, we are going to show you when we fail shit. Because guess what? You're going to learn the same time that we're going to learn.
That's right. It happens. I used to feel bad about it. And there comes a time, after like mistake after mistake after mistake, and you just feel like, damn, do I really want to show this again?
Mm.
But we do. I mean, you just show it. You know what I mean? People learn from it, and most people understand anyway. We're human, and especially when you have all these cars that you're trying to keep up with, and you got all this stuff going on. It's really hard to juggle. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's
Yes.
really hard to remember. Did I change the oil in this one? Does
Mhm.
it need? What does it need? Does it need coils? Does it need wires? Like,
Yeah.
it's tough, man. So that was why getting rid of the Carbon Fox was such a relief for me. I love that car, but I'll be honest with you guys. As of right now, I don't miss it. I don't think it's sank in yet, but regardless of that, I'm good. I don't miss it. I needed the room. And sometimes that's the best thing. Get rid of some stuff, or either don't buy everything. I'm gonna tell you something where some people are going wrong with this whole thing. Getting back to the whole like topic,
Mm-hmm.
they go buy a car and they don't finish it, and then they go buy another car, and you got 12 freaking project cars in your damn yard. And I understand, because I'm a hoarder too, but I'm telling you that that's wrong. That's wrong to do if you don't really have the money to finish a car. And then say like you're halfway through a build or whatever, there's a few things that you need, and then this guy pops up with a $500 shell of a car that you really shouldn't buy because you don't need anything off of it, but you go buy it.
Mm.
You could have saved that money and got your car fixed. And now you get so many irons in the fire that it stresses you. See, I'm not even talking about being able to keep up with the maintenance. I'm talking about mentally, it stresses you having all of this stuff, because it's like when you have too much stuff, you can't play with all your toys, right? And it'll run you ragged trying to figure out a way to give them all a little bit of love.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Now,
you know it better than anybody, but that's your job though. So it's a little, you've learned to live with that, but
yeah.
that shit's
Yeah.
rough for a normal person, to go out and have all this stuff, man. Because it's easy to get, but it's harder to get rid of.
Yes.
You get the
Listen,
shit piling up, and it's hard to get going.
20 years of collecting, and it's just like my garage is just full of. I mean, my garage looks like a brake. Like we're doing brakes and calipers over here. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know.
So next thing we're going to be talking about is how. What are you doing?
Clicking my mic.
Oh, okay. I almost bought $1,000 one today. Why didn't you? Always. Hey, if you got a Fox body you can get for cheap, go get it. Let me catch up on a couple of these. Neo, sell some of them cars. No way, Doug. No way, brother. I learned a lot since the Gray Ghost off Brutal's channel, Timmy Two Wires. Hell yeah, brother.
Appreciate it. Now, hold on, Neo. We got to back up. You just told somebody go get the car. Hold on. It might not be the best option. We just talked about
but
that.
Listen, you can't listen. Here's why I say that. And I tell everybody this. Listen, if you see a Fox body and it looks like it's sitting in a yard and it's rotting, whatever, I would rather see an enthusiast pick up a car and do something with it so that car doesn't end up in a scrapyard. Because you know how many Fox bodies.
No, Neo, it's going to rot in their yard as well. No, you're different. You're different. See, Neo, look, I'm going to give you some shit here, but also props. Neo's built different. He can go and he can buy these $500 cars, $1,000 cars, and he'll do something with them. He doesn't care that they pile up and he's got 100 of them in his backyard because he sells parts. He gets rid of stuff. Me and you watching this right now, we're not built like him. And a lot of y'all don't need to be buying these damn cars. You let them go. Because you know what? Yeah, an enthusiast got it, and it's going to rot in an enthusiast yard. So,
well, as long as it.
I mean, sometimes you need to get the car. You guys know who you are that don't need to be buying them. You know who you are.
Yeah, right. I get you. I get you. All right, so, God, I have so much bullet stuff here. I
thought you were
going motivation. So, let's talk about motivation when you're burned out, taking breaks versus like quitting, and how to find a spark again. I mean, you got to get we talked about it earlier. You got to get the small wins. And we talked about it about 3 weeks ago on our live stream, and it's kind of led up to a little bit of this. And it's kind of funny how all this stuff kind of weaves together. But you got to find the small wins. Do the mods like last week we talked about. Do the mods that you could do now. The wire tucks, the stuff that's free, the interior dyeing. Do the mods that you can afford and you can get behind. because those are the small wins. And when you get the small wins, driving is the therapy, the smiles per mile, smiles per gallon, not per mile, per gallon. And it eventually it'll get to the point to where driving your car ugly, right? We talk about that, is going to motivate you to make it better, to get it done. And then you said earlier, you say, then I'm going to buy some parts to do it, make it faster, or make it, slam it, put wheels on it. Maybe try to do a little my own do-it-yourself paint.
That's right.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about, the motivation when you're burned out. I know you've probably had that.
I've had it every year. Every year it hits me. So for me, I'll just speak on my behalf. That's all I can really do. For me, it's hard because I get burnt out, but I'm not a quitter. I'm one of these guys that's going to figure out a way, right? And I challenge myself constantly. So the answer to burnout is fluid. It's ever changing. I can't tell you what exactly I do. Most of the time, it involves a beer, some good music, and just figuring out what I need motivation-wise for that day. And I know that may sound very generic, very cliche, but it's true. And this is what you're going to have to do. And I'll tell you why. Because music is one of the biggest motivators, right? You hear that right song, man, and your ass is up and you're ready to go. And you've been lazy all day. But you hear that song and you're ready to go. So you have to feed yourself that, right? So find what it is. It may be slow-ass, sad country music one day. It may be 80s hip-hop. It could be whatever. Right. And you need to find that and then go out there and get work done. And what it comes back to is what Neo's saying, these little victories, right? You got to go out and just clean the interior. Take a rag and get all the dust off the dash and wipe the seats down, vacuum the car out and look around it. You're going to feel a lot better. You're going to feel more comfortable. Also, you can start. Interior is a big thing for a lot of people, too. I know it is for me as well. I get in a car and it's all raggedy and shit, and I'm just like, ugh, But a few little components here or there, and all of a sudden the car feels like a completely different car. And that's where you're at when you're driving is interior. I'm pretty sure that's where pretty much everybody drives. I don't think you drive on the exterior, right?
No.
Right. Okay. So you're inside the car, you're looking around like, damn, this is pretty nice, And that's one of those little victories that you're talking about. You can do that. Do some interior work, man. Some spray dye. There you go. Perfect. Trim black, right? SEM trim black around outside components, some interior dye, and get after it. A vacuum and a pressure washer and some stuff. You'd be surprised. Little victories.
So eight, little victories.
The hustle standard. Yes, absolutely.
The hustle standard is good. Absolutely. Good. Throw some tool on and I'm ready to roll. What's your band? What's your go-to?
What's my go-to?
Yeah. Is
Hustle
it 80s, 90s? Is it country?
Sometimes it's country. So just to go back a little bit, I grew up I hated country growing up. I never listened to country until I was probably 20 years old, really. But nowadays, Zach Bryan, like I can listen to any of that. And for some reason it gets me going. I'll listen to, what is it that I usually listen to that really gets me going? I have, what is it? Sunreal. I listen to Sunreal. Hustle Standard is really good. Tool sometimes. Yeah, it depends. And see, that's the thing, you can't always go back to that same genre because the other night, I think it was the last video that I put out, you could tell it was like a somber mood in the shop. Like you could just, if you watch the video, you could tell it. You could hear the music in the background. It's all sad and shit. I needed that night. I had one beer and I sat out here and drank that one beer and I meow myself through these seats that I didn't want to do. But I got it done. And the next night, I was like, I ain't listening to that shit. Like, I'm sick. Like, I need something to pump me up.
Hey, look. Hey, but you needed it at that moment.
I did.
And that moment led into garage therapy. Garage therapy led into picking up the damn wrench.
And led into a little victory.
Classic rock in the garage. Listen, you guys don't. Jeff Foxworthy. Hey, he watched the video. When I was going through the old shitbox Fox thing out here, I probably shouldn't say it that way, but I pulled the tape out of the tape deck, and I'm like, I ain't even looked at it. I'm gonna guess Def Leppard, and I picked it up, and it was Jeff Foxworthy.
Def Leppard is probably my number 3 go-to if I need motivation. right?
Love it.
I turn my hat around backwards. I get in my damn over the top,
Yeah,
you know,
Get ready
deal,
to arm
right?
wrestle, son.
I get in my overtop thing. I throw on some Def Leppard, something like that.
Yep.
I was listening to Tina Turner. What was it yesterday? It was Tina Turner. It was Rod Stewart. A couple other ones that I listened to. It's just whatever, man. It's whatever I need. And see, you got to be. Here's the thing: a lot of people are not real with themselves.
Right.
They try to be a certain way. I don't. Blah, 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 blah. Well, try something different behind closed doors. Who gives a shit? Maybe to motivate you. You know.
Right.
So you just got to experiment and see what you like. And there's a lot of stuff out there that you never tried as far as motivation that can motivate you. That'll get you out here. It just depends. A lot of times it's cleaning the shop up for me, right? So I'll take 30 minutes, 45 minutes, clean the shop up. And I'm like not feng shui, but I like my vibe. Like I'm a vibe person. So I'll go get my Harbor Freight blankets and I'll lay them out under the car. You know what I mean? All nice. My tools will be, and I'm not a very organized guy, but there's times when I need that, right? And I sit back and I got my light just right. And I'm like, let's do this.
It's game time. It's like it's like you're putting your helmet on, getting ready for a football game. It's like you're ready to. It's game time. It's game time.
Yeah, Scotty said Brutal's playlist on Spotify. I've got you a really good playlist over there on Spotify if you guys want to go check it out. It's music for, gearheads, essentially. It's all the 80s, 90s, early 2000s rock and stuff like that. It's great music. You put it on and just go. There are a couple sad songs in there that I threw in there that I really like from back in the day, but outside of that, pretty mainstream, popular stuff that we all knew.
Okay, so let's get real.
All right, let's do it. Let's get real.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Why do you even build cars?
You build cars, in my opinion.
Why are you building? Why do you build cars outside of the enjoyment of creating content like I got? I love that stuff.
Are you asking me or are you just asking in general? I'll tell you me. I build cars because there's a sense of nostalgia with it, with my parents coming up, memories, and people that I knew that I idolized that had cool cars. Some dude that was at the stoplight, when I'm in the vehicle with my parents as a little kid, and I look over and this thing's just sitting there camming at the light, and it's just ingrained in my head. And to have something that people can look at and be like, oh my God, that's cool. Like, that's a badass car, man. And give them joy like it gave me and like it still does to this day when I see a certain car go by or a certain truck or something. It's a feel. It's something internal that either you you have that flame or you don't. You can't create it from nothing.
Nope.
But if you have that inside of you, everybody's reason is different. But I do feel like that's a lot of it for people. You challenge yourself. Build something beautiful that whenever you park it in a parking lot and you walk off, you got to turn around and look at it a couple times.
Yep. So, real talk. So memories. I like the fact you went with memories because memories always trumps money and always trumps what's going on. Escaping the stress. I like to build cars for the nostalgia that we talk about, for the memories. I talked about it earlier. We're Gen X, bro. And
that's right.
30 years ago, we couldn't afford this shit.
No.
We were listening to Vanilla Ice as he was cruising down his 5.0. And, I was like, damn, I'm going to get one of them. That's, what is that, Fittipaldi edition? Isn't that like a one-on-one thing? Regardless, that car, do you remember the Jerky Boys and the Fox Body limousine?
Yep.
It was just in our blood.
That's right.
It's a car that we always wanted. We escape stress from when we get into the actual garage, and it just has so many memories, man. And I hope some of you guys can relate because we're preaching to each other, but we're preaching to you, and we're trying to get you to relate to the fact that this is real talk. This is Jackstand Church, and this is real. This is what we like to do, and this is why I like to have Brutal on because. We get in some really, really good conversation. I got a whole bullet list of shit. We could be talking all damn night if we want.
We really could.
So
I think everybody builds obviously for different reasons, but Here's one thing that I will ask you. Figure out what that reason is for you. Really ask yourself, like, why am I doing this shit? If it's to just impress people or just to follow a clique, like, and trust me, there somebody's out there watching this right now that's all it is. Like they're misguided. You're not really that car guy that you think you are, and this shit will test you. And I promise you, those are the ones that fall off. And they never finish the build and they sell the car. Oh, F Mustangs, F Fox bodies, and I can't stand them. See, we'll never say that. Well, I'll say it, but I don't mean it. I'll come back to it. So my point is, you got to know yourself. You really need to ask yourself, like, who the hell am I? And like, why do I do what I do? Why do I want what I want? And I've done that, and I have to kind of reset probably once to twice a year. I have to ask myself, like, man, why are you doing this? Which is what I did, right, recently with the Gray Ghost and with a couple of other builds. I'm like, whoa, calm down, bro. This is not you. Simmer down and do what you love. And what I love is tinkering and making things pretty and doing more with less is who I am as a person.
So G. Gale said, my Fox body was given to me after my mother passed.
I read that. Yeah.
She had the car since it was new.
That is a very good reason, because I can semi relate to that. And yeah, it's therapy, man. Right. And there's memories attached to it. And a car like that is something that you have to build the way you want to. And you stay off the internet with that. And you don't post that car and you don't ask opinions from people, because that's yours. That's your baby. That's your family right there. So it's nobody else's business. You do it the way you want to do it.
And Spec Ops says, working on my cars bring me closer to my kids. They're always around when I have the tools out, my boys and my girls. That's awesome. Teaching the generation now, you know, I think we've kind of done our generation a disservice, or at least, you know, some of the younger guys in the generation, because we haven't really taught them. Like I was thinking about this the other week. I'm like, I haven't even taught my son how to change a tire, and that's on me. You know, and we've got this idea, like we FAFO'd, you know what I mean? That's how we figured it out.
That's right.
You know, I blew up, I don't know how much shit. I still do today, but just not as much. You know, these differentials and
these kids don't have. Look, back then we didn't have the internet, right? You tear something up, you were on the phone with somebody, if you could remember their number, to call them. And then they're trying to find somebody, you get parts and you fix stuff. We were broke back then. We didn't have the jobs. Like, it's hard to explain. It was just different times, right? And it truly was. I'd like to be able to explain it a little bit better, but it was just different times. Nowadays, you don't have the kids. They're going out and with credit. I don't know. These kids are born with credit now and decent jobs. And they're just going out and they're buying that Tesla or that Charger or that Mustang or whatever the hell it is that they want. And they're not really having to experience what we had to experience with fixing shit. So, but there will come a time when they need it, right? But throughout their golden years, whenever they're teenagers and should be driving shit boxes and having to fix them beside the road, they're not doing that a lot anymore. So it's up to us to teach these kids, especially these men or these boys, because, I mean, look at our world today. I'm sorry. Look at it. And we have a responsibility to make sure we at least send a few of them out there in the world that know something about something.
Looking in trade times for parts. There was so many. I mean, remember, you used to go into like all these little stores. You used to have this little, I can't even remember the names of them anymore, but they were like little newspaper clippings. You know, they're like all in one. What was it? Like trade. I think it was Trader Times or something like that. Like he just said, you know, there's cars and parts and people had phone numbers. Things were a lot. And then Craigslist came out, you know, and then things were a lot slower.
Yeah, I remember I bought a couple of cars off Auto Trader from the magazine. I stopped by. I think they put those out, at least for us. If I'm not mistaken, it was like every Tuesday or something. I can't remember. But it was a certain day, and you would go from service station to service station because they were already sold out. Yeah. So you would go around town trying to find a service station that had the latest and greatest, you know, Auto Trader. Then they had the Mustang Trader. I think, they had the Mustang only one later on. But yeah, man, that was like my not my wish list. It was, we still had the Summit and we still had Jegs and stuff like that. But like that was my wish list right there. I would go through and look at the Celines. The Celines were the cars, man. I wanted a white Celine with white wheels. Oh man,
It's
those were
what
awesome.
gave us it almost gave us we were a very unique scenario when we were growing in in the 80s and pretty much the 90s and early 2000s. It's like it was a kind of a like we ended up we seen what we seen on Auto Trader, and that was our social media.
That's right.
And then you got the corrals like we talked about. I talked about in my short today. You got the corrals,
Staying net.
yeah, the 4i Pride, SVT Performance. That's when it kind of got into, that was like the cat's ass. You know what I mean? That was just like, that's when you started making like an internet name. Yeah. And it was crazy because you had such an imagination. Nothing was cooler. Our social media, and this is a whole nother topic to talk about in another day. Our social media was driving our shit to a parking lot and hanging out and calling some people out.
Yeah, that was it. That was our social media. And before social media, like you said, it was forums. And there was stangnet.org, I think is what it was, or stangnet.com. And then corral.net, I think. And then SVTP was probably ended up being one of the ones that I stayed on the most. And that was the earliest form of social media because I was posting videos back then on SVTP. Matter of fact, some of you probably saw that. And I was having a host over on streetfire.net.
Street Fire, man. That's an old one, man. I heard that for a while.
Because there was no YouTube. So, but you would go out and you'd shoot a video of your car and you would add music to it. And you would try to get this whole feel and this whole like vibe around, this aura around your car. So when you posted pictures, they were just right and you had the car clean. And then you would post these pictures and people would talk about it and they would like it and say, like, that was the earliest form of social media, I'll say. And I remember actually it was on a Mach 1 registry, because I was on the Mach 1 registry. I started something new that I don't think had ever been done before, and we did an online car show. It was the craziest idea at the time. But I was like, hey, everybody post pictures, and then the guy with the most likes will be the banner, like for the site. So it was so cool. And that was one of the first things like that. And now look at what we've got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who's going to put the picture up and be the banner for the week?
Yeah, yeah.
The journey. Going back to the original conversation about the journey, guys, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's not about the finish line. It never was about the finish line, because happiness is only the moment before you realize you're looking for more happiness.
That's right.
Finished cars are cool, but they kind of get boring fast. A build tells a story. Yes. And if it's on a jack stand, it can't tell its story. And that's why when I tell you at a show, I'll walk by a $100,000 Mustang and say, that's cool, thumbs up. But I'm going to go over and I'm going to go look at that Capri, that bubble back. I'm going to go over and look at that patina convertible, maybe, like the one Chris made at Infamous. Yeah. Something that's been slammed, got some wheels on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
right.
The journey and the build stories are really the currency.
They are. That's the payoff.
That's the payoff. It's not the destination. It's not being the fastest stick shift car. It's not winning the car show award. It's not. It never was.
I think
preach on it.
Well, you look back at some of the old videos there again. I think that was actually on SVTP, but it was you remember the video of the 03 Cobra? It's called Snake Bite.
Yes.
And yeah, him spinning tires and doing stuff. Those are the videos that carry weight, right? And it was so unexpected. Who would have ever thought that, right? How many videos were there at the time of 03 Cobras doing burnouts? That one was just perfect. And the payoff for that person, in my opinion, was to be able to see everybody love that car. That car got so much love, dude. It was all over. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing or hearing about that car, right? This is, again, before social media. But I think it influenced so many others. You have people that craved that attention that car had, right? The way it made you feel whenever you watched that video is the feeling you wanted after you bought the car. So people were going out and they were buying these things. So yeah, I mean, just to kind of further prove your point.
You good?
Yeah. I guess that's Tucker out there. I don't know. I keep hearing something.
Yeah, I mean, every scratch, we talk about this with my black car, going back to the journey. Finished cars are cool, but driving it ugly and builds that aren't perfect tell stories. My black car has scratches and dings, and everything has a memory to it.
That's right.
And the grind in the journey is the fun part. And there's too many people want to get to the end really quick, want to be the fastest car, want to be the prettiest car. And then you get into this build depression. We talk about that. That's easy rabbit hole to fall in. And the only thing that you're going to get out of that is disappointment. And who the only person that's going to be disappointed is the one that's looking you in the mirror.
That's right. And it's hope. It's about hope. Hope is the biggest driving factor, I think, for human beings in general, right? Because you hope things will get better. You hope tomorrow comes. You hope this will happen. But hope is the thing that you have while you're building a car. Even if you're broke at the moment, you hope you'll get the money and you dream about it. And and that's what keeps you going. So the journey is ultimately the reward. You're living your best years or time while you're building the car. I mean, honestly, how many times do the builds usually work out the way we want them to after you're done? I mean, some, yeah, sure. You'll get some enjoyment out of it. I know for me, though, it is the process because it's got this under construction vibe to it. It can be anything, and you're creating it. And there's all this hope and everything else. But I know after I got done with, what was it? The Gray Ghost was a perfect example. I love the car, but it was done. I'm like, where did all the time go? It's like raising kids, right? It's the same thing. I think it's a good analogy. Like you raise kids and you can't wait for them to be grown and gone. And then you realize, shit, man, those were the best years.
So I had I got so many things I want to talk about here. And, like budget, I just got a whole list of stuff. Maybe we'll save some for another day. But I do have somebody here that was invited. What is that? Is that your dog?
Yeah, it was perfect the whole time. I thought I was like, what the hell that noise?
So I had a text message from a friend of ours, and you realize that there's 2 push rods in the chat, and one now is a coyote.
Oh, shit.
There goes the neighborhood.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Okay.
What's up, brother? He left.
No, I put him in that. Change your name. Change your name. You are not Brutal's daddy. Last time
I know he didn't.
He
Yes,
did
he
too.
did.
You are not Brutal. Change your name, son. You got to earn that.
Yeah, you got to earn it. And as of right now, I'm your daddy.
Yeah.
Just
Change your name and come back in. Change your name, come back in.
Yeah.
Let's go. Change your name, come back in.
Oh,
That's not nice.
Raggedy ass.
Raggedy ass. The funny thing is you got a coyote sitting right behind you. You're about arm's length away.
Yeah.
You got to change your name, Hanlon. I'll put you in timeout, son.
Yeah.
We're getting real over here.
We're getting real. Oh, it's about to be on. Just so y'all know.
The coyote.
It's about to be on.
This guy.
I told you your name is King Coyote. It's King Coyote.
Is this a better view?
Look at this shit. Look.
Is this a better view, guys?
Yeah. This will work. What a loser.
Loser.
Loser. Let me see if I can turn my shit sideways. Hold on.
Boom. Nice.
Boom.
All right. So now we all match.
You good?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Those damn coyotes.
Damn coyotes. And I got one behind me. I'm trying to get this
You driving
permission
one,
sticker.
fool. What you talking about?
It sucks and I hate it.
It's the fastest thing in your fleet, dog.
No,
What
it's
you
not.
tripping for?
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. No.
That
It's
thing's
not.
like a
Hey,
streamlined
look.
butterfly.
Hey, calm down. Calm down. Okay, we're talking real talk tonight.
Yeah,
All right.
we ain't
We
talking all this.
we ain't on that push rod versus coyote shit. I got you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we gonna get you though. We're
Yeah,
gonna get
because-
you though.
It's coming.
It's good.
We get Caleb in here, you know. We'll have a
Well-
little tag team match.
I don't know. Caleb swings both ways, so
Oh, shit.
so I don't know which side he would actually take.
Hey, right now he's like this.
Yeah, he does say though that Pop's car has been a blast, so I think he's enjoying it.
So we were just having some real talk, you know, and kind of like one of the, you know, we were talking about the journey, and we were talking about there was one more thing I did want to talk about real quick before, you know, we chatted up and whatever, but I'm trying to find it here. Like, what's in real talk, what's actually holding you back right now? And this goes for chat too. What's holding your car back right now? How long has it been on jack stands, and what part did you overpay to put it there? You know, I'm getting real because you know that's got to be something that happened. You know, what's the journey?
I'll say something that's probably keeping a lot of people still on jack stands is tuning. Tuning, waiting on tuners, not knowing what you got into when you bought that Terminator X, or you bought that Mega Squirt, or that Moats, or the HP tuners, and you're thinking, okay, I got my Terminator X, and then you realize, oh shit, like it's got to be tuned, and that's expensive. So part of that, every one of y'all know watching this, but tuning is not just because you have a tuner doesn't mean that it's easy. Like there's leg work on your bath as well, if with remote tunes and stuff. So I think that's part of it. I know that's something that was going on, I think, with your car, wasn't it, Andrew?
Yeah.
You're waiting on some
Dennis and I are
revisions.
constantly doing data logs. Like we do data logs pretty much 4 times a week, you know, just trying to fine tune everything and, you know, make sure everything's running right. You know, obviously with us being in Northeast, you know, in E85, you want that car, you know, startup, you know, tune to work right, you know. And
so, you guys can't buy, you don't buy pump E85, I guess, up there. It's probably not worth it in the winter. You do?
Yeah, I do. Everything that I tune off of is pump E85.
What does it test during the winter there?
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
One E70, E72. I've actually got about 50 gallons, 40 gallons. Every time it tests high in the fall, I always throw some good water stuff in it so it doesn't get jacked up. Plastic barrels. And E90 like 3 was the last time we hit. It was crazy. It was like Kentucky. Listen, ain't shit like Kentucky. I don't know what they put in their pumps.
Well, it's moonshine.
Florence, Kentucky. I always stop in Florence, Kentucky to fill up on E85.
I mean, Kentucky and Tennessee have got the best moonshine, and that's all that is moonshine.
I mean,
so yeah.
Yeah, I tested
all the lime deposits they have.
Yes. So
I tested pump E85 like 2 months ago, and it was like 73%. So yeah, unfortunately, wintertime for us, it goes down.
I don't have E85 in my area either, Rich Long. I actually have to drive 40 minutes to get my E85 in Menor, but that's why I put like 60 gallons in, and I do like I bring my my big barrel with me. So we don't drive. I mean, in the summer we use a lot because we got the black car we're riding with, and then we race with the 85 and whatever. But weather, so got a lot of people here. Weather, time, money. Just family, you know. I mean, there's a lot of good answers there. I mean, it's just like, you know what cheap part surprised you? Let me ask you this question. Here we go. In the same retrospect, what cheap part surprised you the most on one of your builds?
Go, Andrew.
What cheap? Now, when I say cheap, I say inexpensive compared to others on the build. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad here. That's not what Neo is about here right now.
Well, I think it even relates to unexpected as well, right? So could probably go there. I would,
Except for chat too. Chime in
yeah,
on chat.
yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so this is not really per se a part like for the car, but it's something I bought for the car recently. So I bought a 3D printed tire gauge holder for the race car.
Tire gauge holder.
Yes, it mounts to the roll bar. So
Oh,
instead of
like a
your
hook.
tire gauge flying around in the back of the car every time you launch,
Hit you in the head.
It's easy for Pop to just reach in, grab it, hook it back in, good to go.
Yeah,
And
so
it
for
was
convenience, I absolutely, I can see that for
it
sure.
was like $10, and it's like the coolest thing I ever bought.
Yeah. It's those little things. I think for me recently were the seats in the Retro Fox. My excitement level for that car is through the roof now. It spurred all these parts that I just bought to happen because I sat in the car and I just loved it again. So it was a set of old seats that I already had that were once in the car that had not been in there, and I was kind of dealing with the new seats and said, you know what, let's just do this shit. So I spent probably 4 hours, put the old seats back in it. Love them.
They turned
For
out
me,
nice too.
Yeah.
For me, it was actually earlier in the year, about mid-year. And it really wasn't a cheap part, but it's just kind of a 40-year-old part. I guess you could call it that. A stock distributor. So, we're MSD, Excel. Now we have coil near plug that's sitting over here rotting in a box. But, we were making some steam in the 363. And my fastest pass of the year in the quarter mile was a stock freaking distributor.
Wow, like a motorcraft?
Just a motorcraft. And I had to put it in there because the MSD, I've had 2 of them die in less than a year. Not to talk anything about them.
Yeah, we'll get into that. They're hit or miss. So, I mean, you can
Yeah,
get
so that's mine. I mean, it's a good question to ask because it surprised the shit out of me. And I couldn't believe, we went like 860s. And like that would just, and I think it was in Wisconsin, 870, 871, something like that. It was, and the MSD had died, and I had to change it literally right there and resync it to the the Terminator and all that stuff. So that's a good question. I thought it was kind of engaging.
It's a very good question. I'll add to that and say the drag pack on the 21. I hate using that one, but
what did you pay for it?
Well,
was it cheap or cheaper?
No, it wasn't necessarily a cheap option, but it was an unexpected result from something that I bought. And I've talked to Andrew about it. I was like, holy shit, like, wow, at the difference. And look, here's why it surprised me, right? We all know what drag radials do. We've all tried them. We've put slicks on our cars. We've had drag radials, fatties.
Yes, sir.
But I did not expect that result. Amazing. I mean, we went from a car that wouldn't hook up from a 60 roll to spinning about a car length in first from a first gear roll. Like that's huge, right? And probably will hook at the track, I would imagine. So very unexpected and extremely, extremely happy with that, which caused me to want to drive this car all the time. Remember, we just had this conversation, Andrew. We were talking about, I'm like, dude, I love the car now. I'm driving it all. I drove it to work today. And over a wheel and tire package.
Looks and books, right? It's good.
Yeah. It's like, it looks good. I like the way the wheels, like, it gives me the fizz, man. Like when I look at the car, it's just like the little wheels, the little tucked underneath that fat ass front end of that car, and it's just like, I just like it. I like the way it looks. So
love it.
Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, what's everybody else saying?
Pence says headers. I bought a cheap set off Amazon and compared them to BBK, and the cheaper ones had way better welds.
Okay, Speed Engineering. We know about those, right? Speed Engineering headers surprised the shit out of me. I'll probably put that number one if you're talking budget. Those Speed Engineering were like $700 and something and came with the X pipe, and they fit flawlessly. They're stainless. They're not the best. Or I hear, all right. If I didn't know any better, I'd say, well, damn, those are Cooks or something. Like, I don't know. They look great. They're not rusted. Everything fit perfectly, just as good in my opinion. And they were like $700 something with the X pipe. So yeah,
that's a good deal.
Yep, 100%.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes the little things, just make you feel the best though. You
That's
know,
right.
like, I mean, obviously, like that tire gauge holder I mentioned earlier, that's a cheap part. Like, and does the car really need it? No, but I put it on there. It's like, oh man, this is going to help my team out. You know, it's kind of cool.
That's right.
And then, you know, I just changed, like they're on the doors, they have like the outer door belt, you know, molding, and it's a track system. And my bushings were all pretty much shot, and a couple of them were missing. So I bought a kit from LMR, and I just put them on and redid it. And you know, obviously now it's screwed on there; it's not coming off. And it's like the little things. It's like, oh man, I'm just gonna pick away at it, and it makes you feel better, you know.
Yeah, for sure. As a matter of fact, talking about the little things, let's take a gander right now at a couple little things just to go along with what you guys are talking about. I think most people can relate. These are not little things right here. Let's get that off.
Big shout to Lamar Richardson. Look at that Calypso in the back.
I know. Awesome,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Lamar kills it with that, man. He done it. Oh, that's so freaking badass.
So I'm very excited about this purchase here. All right.
Okay.
Look, before we get into this, I've purchased superchargers, engines, cams, heads, all the stuff, right? We've all done all this, right? Okay. Those are exciting to get in. We all know that. I'm probably just as excited about this.
Oh shit.
Y'all know,
Yeah.
can you see what that is?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. This entire box is nothing but that. That's armrest pad.
Restoration.
Mhm.
Okay. It's an armrest pad right there. Window motors.
Mhm.
This is that thing you're talking about, the little things, right?
Yeah.
Dude, just giving me the feelings, right? I like that term. It just makes sense. So check this out. Neo, you know what this is immediately, which you probably know as well.
Yep. Steering shaft.
Mhm.
Rag
steering
joints.
shafts.
Get rid of your
Nope.
rag joints, folks.
Rag joints are gone. They're no
Bad.
longer needed. You don't need them. They will make your steering sloppy, and you won't know why.
And
you won't know that it's the rag joint doing it, but it
that
probably
shit
is.
comes loose. You have no control.
None.
Right.
Zero.
And right here. Cheap stuff. That is a bump steer kit.
Bump steer kit.
Okay.
Yep.
And that, along with that shaft, will get all that weirdness out, you know,
Yeah.
and
The sloppy.
the sloppiness and some of the vibration, which kind of goes against what everybody really would think. They would think with the shaft you get more vibration, but actually, if it's all worn out under there, you'll get slop and shit through the steering wheel, which will cause vibration and rattle shit in your car. So these are the little things that I'm excited about.
Hey, look, how much of that box? That box wasn't very expensive. Look at the rag joint. Look,
Right.
That's real. You can't be more real right now about that problem than he just showed you right there. If that doesn't have you kind of second guessing, and I know that I know they got, the steering shafts out there that are kind of expensive or whatever. But here's the thing: is if you decide to do a manual, well, hell, Flaming River has a power steering rack now. If you ever plan on doing that in the bump steer or whatever, I'm telling y'all, it's the little things. And that box right there probably didn't cost them a whole lot of money either.
No, that box probably right there maybe cost me $600 for. I may
half
be wrong.
of that's the steering shaft.
Yeah, the steering shaft costs a lot. So here was the other. These are the. Sorry, I know it's loud. The weight jackers. Right?
Oh shit!
So it was a $900 order. Now think about it. That's a lot of money, right? But these are all the little things. What did we just say? The little things that are going to make you happy. When I get in my car now, instead of having to hit the damn power button 50 times to bump the window up because it doesn't want to go, now to go, right?
Right.
So my car sits a little crooked, probably from worn out bushings. This will fix that. And then all this other shit, the steering, just the car's weird. It kind of gets all over the place. Then I put the old seats back in it. These are the little things that we're talking about.
Appreciate you, Lamar.
That will make you happy with your car once again. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm
you
excited.
can have all that build nostalgia and all that build hype about, I got cylinder heads that cost you $3,500. And like, I'm going to tell you, you got to like your car first. Like if it's sloppy and jalopy all over the damn road. I mean, what he just did right there, minus control arms, which I think he probably has. I think you probably have a tubular K member in anyways. What he just did right there is he just got very accurate, precise control of his car, and the weight jackers in the back are going to allow him to stance it, and it's going to stop swaying.
That's right. Exactly.
So, and you got to like your car. And I mean, you got to put some power to it. You're going to need to do that shit anyways.
And the sad reality of all of this is these are the things. I'm plugging my phone up while we're talking. These are the things that we overlook all the time. We overlook that shit. We're like, man, but look at my paint. But listen to the blower. Listen to the cam. Yeah, but are you happy driving it? Right. So when we all went to Tennessee, when we met up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had a blast, didn't you? We all did. Andrew, you really had a blast, didn't you?
I sure did.
So
going on the trailer.
Oh boy. Here we go with that. No, that's not where I was going with it.
That's not where you're sorry, man. My bad, brother. My bad. Continue.
But we all had a blast. And the biggest thing is we were doing what we wanted to do. We had the street cars out, which Andrew didn't, but he was with the street car. Did you drive the car any while we were there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You did drive his car.
Yep.
Okay. So we had a blast, right? And sometimes it's about that, right? Just having fun. And this leads me into and I know we don't want to go here tonight, but should I build a race car or should I have a street car? Now it does kind of tie into this. And the reason being is because you got to like your car, right? We're doing these little things over here that'll make you like your car again. Mm-hmm. What will make you dislike your car is going too crazy with your setup. You cannot go as crazy as you think you want to go. Andrew, you had a blast. Do you mind talking about the experience a little bit? What it reminds you of, kind of how it got you in your feels a little bit?
Oh yeah. So long story short, people that don't know, we took Zach's car down to Ford Takeover this year, and Zach's got a Coyote swap street car, and it's got all the bougie accessories, the power steering and AC and all that. But so instead of taking my race car down this year, we took Zach's car, and we got to do all the cruising. We got to have fun on the street. We got to do all the car meetups. And I'll be honest, guys, I mean, I love my race car. And I know I told this to both, Danny and Nakia, there's nothing like, going and hanging out at all these meetups and doing car cruising and having fun, with all your buddies with, a street car. And it's got me thinking, guys, I'll probably hang on to my race car, obviously, but I'm ready to build a street car. I already got a street car in the works, and I miss those, those opportunities, just the camaraderie of, just hanging out with your buddies and, just not worrying about having to, go balls to the wall at the racetrack 9 seconds at a time or whatever it is, It just to sit back and relax and just kind of take in, the whole atmosphere, that's what I miss the most. And, but yeah,
I think it's an ever evolving, evolving thing, meaning that doesn't mean that the race car was the wrong move for you. Look how successful you've been with that. Plus, you grew up doing this as well, and you love it. Same thing goes for Neo as well. So it doesn't mean one's right or wrong, but maybe both. Maybe there is a situation to where two are good. I think for me, I got into a situation where I had multiple of the same, right? Mm-hmm. Never a full race car that was capable, and then a bunch of damn street cars. But in your situation, I think it would be awesome, right? To still have the race car and then have a nice little street car. So, and Zach's car, is it perfect?
No.
Mm-hmm. And you had a blast, didn't you?
We had awesome time. We had a great time.
We had a blast.
Neo, I really do hope we can replicate, what we did. I would like to run it back one more time, whether it be Ford Takeover and or both Foxtoberfest, just one more time. You know what I mean? And, where I can get the black car right and bring it. It's going to be more relatable. Dad's car, either one of them. I'm not bringing the coupe, AKA white car transition. We're going to leave that at home. That every show that I'm going to go to is, I want to be more of a relatable, you know what I mean? You see what I mean? Not that my coupe won't be. It's just it's purposely built to be raced, but true street. Whereas my dad's, well, we already know what that is, and my black car is kind of more along the lines of like what you've done with Calypso, and what he's doing with Zach's car. So I love that stuff because it's more relatable.
I think it is more relatable, but at the same time, it also what you do defines you and who you are. So And what I mean by that is like, let's ask the chat right now, does it really matter to you that much? Because it's not that you don't have cars that are relatable, right? And it's not that, but I think we have to remember who we are and what made us who we are as well. So and I know you're not saying, neither one of y'all are saying that you're ditching this to go here. By all means. But I do think that we have to embrace both sides of it all, right? I mean, look, you got this dude here that goes out with a stock Coyote and just murks people. You got your turbo setups out there, driving your ass off. People know y'all for that. But it is I think it validates oh boy, I'm about to say something. It validates the streetcar scene for you guys to come and do it with us. The cool guys, the fast car guys that can go racing and have one shit. Then it makes what we do cool. We're already doing it. But when you guys come in, it makes it badass.
Yeah, because I mean that's the grassroots. We talk about grassroots all the time. That's where I was at. We were street racing, we were slow car racing, we were non-power added, all motor, beating the shit out of our shitbox Foxes for decades, man. We talk about, like I said earlier in the channel, it's just like, the first 20 years you learn how to make money, and in the next 20 years after that you earn. And then now we're kind of in the predicament that, we have the ability as Gen X or whatever, being a little bit older, to be able to have that money available to do kind of some of the things that we want to do, So relatable is the word. I think B's
go ahead.
Relatable, I think, is what B's trying to get to. It's across all genres.
Yeah,
it is. The biggest thing that I was trying to get across is it's validation for the guys that have been doing what it is that you're bringing, right? When you show up in a street car that's not perfect, that you're enjoying, Pop's car, when you show up in Zach's car, when I show up in my stuff, it's not that you're putting on a show. You're bringing what you enjoy, and you're showing people that, look, I can do this. This is what you know me for, or mostly probably, but I also enjoy this as well. And sometimes this is even more fun. And I think people need to see that, right? Because it goes along with your psyche when you're trying to build a car. It's like that motivation. When they see you guys doing what they do, that's motivation, right? And we all need motivation, and it comes in different forms. So don't ever underestimate what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think for me personally, it's a nice change of pace, because I don't think a lot of people understand, to have a car a caliber of mine or Neo's, or some of the real race cars, like, they're a full-time job. Like, Neo's always preaching, get your shit off the jack stands, but the real joke is, like, our stuff is always on jack stands because we're always working on it. We're always trying to make it better. We're always trying to make it faster, make changes to it. So when we get to do an opportunity, like I get to go out and, hang out with Zach and go, for a ride in his car, or we go cruising and stuff like that, that's a nice change of pace. Neo brings Pop's car out, to a show. That's a change of pace, because it's not go, 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 go.
I need that.
Finally slow down,
Yeah. I had more fun at Foxtoberfest. I had more fun at Foxtoberfest by itself, than I had all of 25. And I was at some really cool shit, and it was just like, Wisconsin was crazy. Seen some of the fastest 6-second quarter mile stick shift, not true street, but stick shift OE style, like Tremec T56 stuff on the planet, man. The world record holder. I mean, just good stuff. And it's just, I got to the point, when I was in Wisconsin, that I was just like, you know what? Let's go to an event where we can just chill with Dad's car or the black. I really, really wanted to bring the black car, but, we learned another valuable lesson with a Windsor. But you know what? Third time's a charm, and we'll get it right. But that's where I'm at in 26, man.
Yeah.
Right now,
validation, I think, just, being able to get your car out and share it with everybody and get their reaction to it as well. And this goes for us. This goes for everybody else. That's kind of why you're bringing your stuff, right? So there again, get your shit off jack stands, get it there to show people. There was a Ford Ranger. I can't remember his name. There was a Ford Ranger at Ford Takeover that it was V8 swapped. And something about that build, right? It just spoke to me, man. I absolutely loved it. And he told me, he's like, man, it's not finished. It's got this and it's got that going. Yeah, but dude, I see what you did to it. I see the love, the passion, the excitement. And sometimes you can just see that. So my point is, get your vehicle out there. Let people look at it, because they might not come up to you and pat you on the back and say, nice job, but you're probably motivating somebody that you had no clue you're motivating. So get your shit out there and let us see it.
Absolutely.
Love it. Lamar, I'm thinking about an old Supercharger for my 306, but mostly for the sound and oomph when I want it. I just want to do shows and have fun with the community. And Lamar, that's what it's all about. That's exactly what we're talking about right now.
Just saying that. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. By all means, you got it. You got to love your car. Here's what I will say, though, at least for me. I love the Supercharger. It's awesome. Well, now I only have one Supercharged Fox. But the Supercharger is great for what it is. The sound, the feel of it. But my God, they can be a handful. You know, these little cars, even though stock bottom end cars with a Supercharger, you realize, man, you can't put the damn power down. And then it becomes a, well, am I going to break it type thing. So with that being said, keep the boost kind of down, you know, on these stock bottom end cars. And yes, by all means, throw a Supercharger on it, enjoy the sound. And I think you'll love it. But I think I went a little too crazy on the Carbon Fox with too big of a blower, and it was extremely rowdy. Had to pulley it up to get the boost down, and it was just it was a little much. But yeah, man, like an S trim or something like that. Hell yeah, slap it on there. It's awesome. It's funny because when you come through like parking lots and shit, you know, people are like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with that car?" You know, it sounds like power steering or some shit. We know.
What's up, Nathan Tuck? Good to see you. One of our longest members here on the channel at the highest tier, man. I appreciate you stopping in. And Super Dave, I'm 50 and I'm cold concrete is getting to me. Brother, you got to get yourself a lift.
Yeah. And these lifts, I think I have a lot of people ask about lifts. I think it's called Best Buy Lifts or something like that. Just search up Best Buy Lift. And back when I bought mine, I think I got it for $2,000 shipped to my door. I think now they're like $2,500. So still not horrible. Guys, save your money. Instead of buying those damn heads that you really want, buy yourself a lift. You can get the heads later. Because this is one of those things that, yeah, it's the same price, and you could, in theory, buy it later. You won't until you do. You need to just go buy one, and then it'll change the game for you.
Game changer.
I'm trying.
It doesn't even have to be a super tall garage. It can be like yours goes up there pretty high. That's nice.
Yeah, 10 feet, I think.
Zach and I don't have lifts.
You don't have lifts?
No, we don't have lifts. No, we flop around like seals out of water, man.
That's not nice.
Oh God, have y'all been posting on the channel lately? On the Cody Racing channel?
Yeah, we've been.
I just got his ass about it the other day.
Yeah, he did.
You should
we actually
rename
have
it.
a bunch of video footage taken. We just have to start putting it all together. And
yeah, you should.
Yeah, dude, we've been busy, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Wow, so sorry. You're busy and your business is doing great.
Boom.
We busy racing, fool.
You ain't been busy racing. You've been busy losing.
What's up, Gabe Large? Good to see you.
I know better than that.
Gabe Large, I like it.
Yeah, no lift gang here. That's right.
No lift gang. Yeah, with your camshafts too.
Yeah.
So
you talking shit? You got 4 cans right behind you, fool.
So
I knew it was only a matter of time before the gloves came off.
Yeah, I don't. It still sucks. Man, I can say that.
To the little Yodi. I don't know. Hey, so big shout to the Coyote King. He did win himself a stick shift.
Yes, he did.
I think he was. I think about one. I think 2 cars showed up, and the other one was just some drunk asshole in a truck.
They scared. They were scared.
Whatever, right?
No, just kidding.
No matter if you win by an inch or a mile, winning is winning.
Winning is winning. We learned that in 2001. We got you.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Anyways, so I do appreciate you guys for popping in. You know, tomorrow, chat, do one thing to move your car forward. One bolt, one wire. You know, we talk about this stuff all the time. You know, Brutal was just talking about validation. You know, so wasn't Andrew talking about, you know, he just showed us a whole box of stuff, you know, that didn't cost him a whole lot of money. And just talked about how he felt like, man, this is going to be amazing.
It is.
Because it's going to make quality of life that much better in this ride.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely, like that whole box of goodies, like if I did that, like that would make me feel better. That would make me motivated. Like, okay, we got this done. Let's get something else done. So stay
exactly.
Because this is how it starts to work. And the nice thing is if you can avoid the rabbit hole and the trap we talked about earlier, if you can avoid the trap and then avoid trying to hurry your build up to meet an expectations of whatever you're scrolling through on TikTok. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Stay in your lane and, you know, get your shit off the jack stands. That's what we talk about, brother.
Well, also to go into this a little further, it's exactly what you said. But here's a scenario, right? And I know how this is going to play out because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all those parts on the car, and it's going to feel better. It's going to give me the fizz. I'm going to like sitting in it, like driving it. And then I'm going to bring it out here. I'm going to wash it up real good. And I'm going to detail the interior. Then I'm going to get my little spray can with my little trim black in it. And I'm going to get to doing this and rubbing and wiping and polishing and painting under the fender wells, cleaning under the bottom of the car. Like, it's just going to go and go.
Wax
and go.
on, wax off.
That's it, brother. And it just spirals like that. Not out of control, but it goes in the right direction.
I fully expect to see that video, man. I'm going to see that video. You're going to see Nakia with that video. He's going to be like, listen, you know, whether it's on Patreon or YouTube or both, it doesn't matter. You're going to see that, you know, you're going to see that in him. Because you can see the passion he's talking about right now.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's relatable. You know,
everybody has it, man. It's just a matter of finding out how to reach it. Right. Something else too. One other thing, and I promise you, I'll shut up. I gotta say, and it's very true. If you just really think about it, if your heart's in it, your wallet will follow. Now think about that for a second. Don't get yourself in trouble. But if you're passionate about something, you always seem to find a way, right? These people who are passionate about golf, and they got $2,000 worth of golf clubs sitting over there, but they don't have $500 to do what they need to do to their car. Why is that? Because let's be honest, you're probably more passionate about this. There's nothing wrong with that. But understand, if your heart's in it, your wallet will follow you. In other words, you will find a way to make it work. I never recommend you guys put yourselves out and make sure there's food on the table for your wife and your kids. But you can find a way to get these parts if you really want to. Some of you just need to get off your asses.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. Stop scrolling. Stop scrolling. Get in the garage.
Yeah,
my whole car, I'll be honest with you guys, my whole car was built from taking what I didn't need anymore, selling it, and buying what I did need.
That's right.
And so on. Stay motivated, guys. You can do it.
You got to figure it out. Figure out what motivates you. Like I said, it changes from day to day, from hour to hour. Figure it out.
It's about the journey.
Also, though, Andrew, with that being said, there were a few things you didn't get rid of. Thank God, in your car. Might need those again. Remember? Remember?
I got right lane.
What you talking about, Willis?
He did put carpet in. He did put carpet in, B.
Yeah, yeah. No. Where I was going with it is whenever you pulled everything out of your car to make it a wraith car, you saved some stuff. You saved some interior stuff, didn't you?
I did.
Why didn't you just go sell all that shit?
Because I knew eventually I'd be going to get a street car.
That's right. And do we know of anybody that might have one that you could possibly get?
Oh, we definitely know someone. Someone's got to hold up. Someone's got to hold up his end of the bargain and finish a transmission for him first.
Ooh, yeah, that guy.
The transmission guy sucks.
Yeah, That guy right there.
So we will have a TKO faceplate for sale. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So with that being
I
said,
gotta
y'all,
stay motivated and finish that transmission.
You want to talk about it, you need to finish my shit.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I'm gonna roll up like Debo on Friday and be like, what you got on my 40?
So that we'll expect something from that this year.
Yeah.
At least get started.
Mm-hmm.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
we got a bundle of parts already here and more parts on the way. And now I just gotta go finish this transmission and take a nice little ride out to Uncle Neo's house and do a nice little swappy swap.
Been sitting there under a cover waiting for you.
Yep, we need to do this, man. You want to talk about power plant or just wait?
I mean, Coyote, duh.
He's gonna do. I think what he wants to build is something to be similar with Zach, but he can drag Zach's car on out here too, and we can get a little bit of street in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I figured you wanted to go fast. Put a 302 in it.
I mean,
I got a bunch of 302 stuff for sale if anyone's looking. I mean, I don't.
Oh gosh.
No one needs those fossils anymore.
Oh
my God, this dude's sitting with all his dad's old engines and stuff, knowing he could put it in there and skin some ass up. That's what you need to do, man.
His dad got engines that have their own name.
Yeah. You need to put one of those,
George.
Yeah.
Which you won't this weekend, son.
Put one of the engines in it and let's just lower the compression a little bit.
Hell that, man. Hey, to change plugs, you gotta move the crank around. That's how much compression's in them damn motors.
Yeah.
You have to pump fuel out of the earth and refine it 7,000 times. I don't know what that thing runs off fucking
Q16 baby.
Nitro and bad decisions.
So like you grew up in that world, right? Around men. So when did you transition? Like what happened?
Oh snap.
At what point did you get your Adam's apple shaved? All right, I gotta go, y'all. I got shit to do. I love y'all.
All right, B. I appreciate
and that's always.
Everybody say goodbye. See you, brother.
All right, I'm out too, guys. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming on, brother.
People, stay motivated.
Look forward to doing a Coyote and Pushrod thing with those two guys, and hopefully get Caleb in, and maybe just kind of go over the back and forth on the price differences. Just to give you guys a 2026 realism. At least it's a Ford motor and not an LS. And the fact of the matter is that Coyote is a bad bitch, and so aren't our Windsors. You got to keep the Windsors alive, but there's no reason why you can't love a Coyote too. So, but anyways, we're gonna go ahead and give away a T-shirt. I appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you,
guys. It's see you, brother. Just like I said, do one thing tomorrow that moves your car forward. Let's go ahead and do the McLeod. Let's go #McLeod. Big thanks to Bob Scheid and McLeod Clutch, Krista Baldwin, for getting these banners out to us. We got a few of them left. They only got about 5, but I think this is only number 2. So let's go ahead and hit that #McLeod if you're looking for the banner, and then we'll try to hurry up and figure out what we're going to do with the merch, because we'll follow that right along. So big thanks to, like I said, to McLeod. We run the RXT Twin HD in all of our cars, and I'm going to be honest with you. If you're not into the adjustable clutch era, with the radials and in the slipper clutches, the RXT Twin is probably the best bet you'll ever buy. And the nice thing is if you break it or wear it out, you can get them rebuilt for about $500. So spend the money right. It works. It's in our cars. It's always been in our cars. We do pretty good with the diaphragm clutch. I mean, we have the slipper, and we do have an adjustable on the shelf. So one day maybe we'll get into that life. But right now, big shout out to McLeod, and that's what we've been running, and we made good power and ran fast with them. So, and you're looking forward to running it with Garrett Leach's Tamer next year, and that's kind of the cheat code for stick shift right now. Running a diaphragm McLeod RXT with the Tamer, So it is what it is. I'm trying to think of a good trivia. I'll go ahead and sign it. and we'll get this in the mail best we can, probably tomorrow. I do got a couple banners I got to ship out tomorrow as well. I still have a couple that are due. Jesse, did you get your Jesse Workman in here? I think he got his T5 kit. Skinny J, did you get your merch? And we're sending Mustang Guys camshaft out tomorrow as well, tomorrow or Tuesday. Anyways, we will be giving away. Where'd it go? We do have an Anderson N41 camshaft that we're going to be giving away to our top tier members. If you guys, that's where it came from. So big thanks to SN95 Garage once again for paying it forward. So make sure that you guys check out the join. If you haven't already, it's the guys in green. It's in the chat. It's on every one of our videos, the join button. Become a member for a month, 2 months, 6 months. It doesn't matter. Stick around. We'll do some other giveaways this year for that tier. But that tier in specific is going to be getting an opportunity to re-win that N41 camshaft here by the end of the month. So got a lot of great things going on with that. We'll find some other stuff to give away to some of the other tiers, and of course to most of the stuff I like to give away is right here on the live chat. I don't really do any more videos. Hey, being part of the membership is I'm trying to take care of those guys, and I know we're closing in on 2 hours, and I know I joined in late, and I know it's like 11 o'clock at night, but I appreciate and love y'all for sticking around. So let me see if you got any questions. I got about 5 minutes left. We're going to do a trivia, and I'm not really sure. Trying to see. Trying to think what I had a trivia in my phone and I can't find it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll probably just do a hashtag merch this week. I'm going to get some more. Good questions for you. So let's go ahead and give away the banner right now. I got the clicker going. William Wood 9948. Congratulations, brother. So if you win the merch, make sure you email me neomustangs@hotmail.com. Oops. Did I miss it? I think I got, did I save it? Yes. Okay. Wanted to make sure I saved your name, brother. Congratulations, McLeod Shop Swag banner. So if you win, send me an email, William, and I will get it shipped out to you. So appreciate you being on the chat tonight. So let's go ahead, and I think we were going to do, let me see if I can think of a trivia real quick that might work. Man, I really want some good trivia. So let's just go ahead and hit the hashtag merch. Go ahead and do hashtag merch, and we'll go ahead and cheat it this week. I'll promise I'll have you I've come up with some pretty good trivia ones, and I like to do it that way. When we're giving away the Anderson thing, I'm going to actually probably task Anderson Ford Motorsports to give me something from their past that can, because Trickflow gave us a question that was really cool. And that's one way I'd like to get them involved. Maybe give us something like whether it be McLeod or Anderson or Hanlon. Give me something from their genre, their business that could tell us. You know what I mean? So something cool. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I think this was a really good live stream. I really had a good time, and I super appreciate Super Dave kicking us off. Get that 393 back in the car. We got a timeline, brother. March, we're going to be putting them back in. G Gale for the $10 super chat. Timmy Two Wires, $10 super chat. HLR, $20 super chat. And Lucifer, Mark, I appreciate you once again. $10 super chat. That goes a long way for us here on the channel, fellas. And I appreciate you guys being part of it. Big shout out to the guys in green. Like I said, my members here on the channel. So we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel of, let me make sure it's not in the cloud area. Make sure I start it correctly. Again, man, I started a little bit late. I think this live stream was really engaging. Actually, what I did a little bit different this week was I kind of was a little bit better prepared. I had a little bit of a bullet form of stuff in something. I actually took some time, about 30 or 45 minutes, to think about what I really wanted to talk about. And, I was a little bit late tonight because I had some family things going on. And I do appreciate you guys for sticking around, this late. So let's go ahead and spin it. I'm in the McLeods. Okay. Congrats. Let's go ahead and here we go. Merch is, I'm not looking. Wait, there it is. There you go. Right there. Who is that? Matthew Foy. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations on the merch. So what you need to do, Matt, is go to neomustangs.com. Okay. And what I need you to do is the same thing that William with the banner. I want you to take a screenshot of the hat or the shirt that you want on my website, and then put it in the email, neomustangs@hotmail, and I'll get it shipped out to you. We usually only take a few days. When you guys doing things like this on the channel is, always appreciated. You guys meeting the goal every week. When we do stuff with me with the merch, you're also doing something with 417 Fox. And if you guys don't know who that is, he's got lots of merch out there. Go check out 417 Fox's website. I think he's on Etsy. He's on a couple sites. Got a lot of really cool. He's got this one really cool T-shirt that I really want to get a hold of that shows like the firing order and some like really cool data about like Fox bodies. So you definitely want to go check out his site, 417 Fox, on Etsy and on his website and for his merch. But he is the guy who makes our merch, and he makes stuff like we wear all the time. And so you support, when you support us with the merch, you support him as well. So thank you guys so much for what you do every week. Anyways, congrats to the winners tonight. Did the winner claim the torque box reinforcements? No. So that's going to be going back into the bottom tier, not bottom tier, tier 1, the apprentice wrenches. That's exactly where we're going. So congrats, Matt. Aren't you the winner? Oh, Matthew Foy. Yep. So 417 Fox is quality for sure. Yeah. Everything that we do on the site is of quality. Great to have the trifecta. Yeah. It was a good time tonight. It was a great time. I can't thank B enough for taking an hour and a half of his time for meeting up with us. But I think we kept, I think that stuff was really engaging, and I really, really enjoyed it. We had a lot of good things we talked about. We talked about, just keeping it real, guys. Just don't get your shit off the jack stands. That way, don't go, trying to relate with, stay in your lane, when it comes to finances, you know what I mean? And the little stuff, just like B was just talking about, put the little stuff on your car, get some momentum, build momentum to get your car rolling, get it out the jack stand. We talk about it all the time, man. You see me do it here on the channel with my dad's car. We're not doing shit to dad's car. I don't want to make any more horsepower. Shit, it made 468, 500 wheel on like 14 pounds. Like that exceeded, that's 10 or 15% more than I expected it to make. It's good times. You know what I mean? We're going to do some stuff that, this year to lighten it up. We are going to put a tubular K-member in it because it's got all stock front suspension. So I'm trying not to die in that car when I take it to the track. And we're going to be doing the exact same mods that B just showed you. We're going to put the shifter. We're going to put the steering rod in it. We're going to put the power steering rack Flaming River in it, or just maybe a factory one, and do the bump steer so I can steer the damn thing. So it's a very good live tonight. I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate that. I'm going to email you about some work. Okay, brother. Shelby County, I didn't say hello earlier, man. I seen you in there. I'm sorry. I appreciate you, brother, for stopping in. Mark, I think a good member giveaways join in for the Jack Stand Church. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's we got 2 good member giveaways coming up this month, and I'm going to try to find you guys something in just general chat, whether it's member or not, you know, in live stream. I'm trying to give away as much as I can this year. 26 is going to be different, but we definitely will have some good member only stuff going on as well. So it was a good night for one, for sure. I appreciate that, HLR. Drag strip. So this week we're going to have a video with the white car as we exit plan with that car, and we're going to try to do something fun. I'm going to try my best, but I'm going to get this old POS parts car that I just showed you on Saturday. We're going to fire that thing up and maybe give it one more last burnout. I'm not really sure how far we'll get with that, but I want to do something a little bit different, a little bit fun. I don't really care what it looks like. I don't care how it runs. I just want to put some oil in it, put some new fresh gas in it, maybe do a little bit of a different type of video. It just kind of smiles per gallon. You just have a little bit of fun with it. So guys, be looking forward to that. So anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. I know it's late. Yeah, I will see you this week in the videos. Make sure you get in the garage and get your, you know, it's the little things, man. It's the small wins that win. And that's not just working on your cars. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. I'll see you in the videos this week. Have a good night.